I have two main approaches when it comes to dealing with SIBO in terms of dietary recommendations. And so I start with the stuff I mentioned earlier. Those are the first two steps. And then I go into the third step, which is dietary. And I'm like, okay, first and foremost, we want to add in foods that we know that you can digest well. And so I have two styles. One is a low histamine, low oxalate diet. And I have found for some SIBO folks, low histamine, low oxalate diet is actually completely acceptable, very beneficial. They're able to seal and heal the gut because there's not all this histamine triggering the intestinal permeability. And then the other option is a low microbe diet, which is a vegan diet, not bringing in anything that has microbes basically on it. Very, very low microbe foods. Vegetables have microbes on them, but compared to like meat or cheese or dairy products, it's minimal. So those are kind of my two approaches. And I just pick, it just depends on the person. It depends on how deficient they are. If they're very excessive, like if they have a lot of excess, if they're very overweight or really red complexion, I'm probably going to go a little bit more towards the low microbe, like vegan style, diet. And this is just for a period of time. I don't think people should be vegan long-term. That's just my opinion. And maybe it's because I work with a lot of people with gut health issues and low assimilation issues. But that's the one approach for that more excessive style body type. And then the people that are a little bit more on the deficient side of things will go towards doing the low histamine, low oxalate, but there is meat included on this. But the interesting thing about that side of it, the low oxalate, low histamine, is they're not eating kale. They're not eating spinach. They're not eating parsley. They're not eating pretty much any greens except for some salad greens and zucchini. And, they're not getting their fermented foods. So people freak out for a minute, but when you look at that diet, it actually looks very similar to a little bit more of a traditional diet that our ancestors would have eaten. It's not one of these like superfood, super crazy diets. Like I have been there. I have drank my fair share of like goji berry kale smoothies with raw cacao and coconut butter and all of that. Like I have done every single superfood out there.